Now, I'm gonna be honest and say that the way I'm doing things with this was mainly just because I don't actually have a way of filming this, but this is going to be my more complete first impressions of Final Fantasy Type 0. So, I've played it for a good bit, and I am very glad to say the movie sequences have toned it down a bit. You know, the first bit was really heavy on it. So, what you're seeing right now, in the arena section, you can actually have someone in your party training and leveling up while you're not playing. That's a really cool feature, and let's see how well it worked. I just had 7 leveling with this guy. So, I see your training was a smashing success. Well done, Cadet. Cadet? I'm just gonna pretend that didn't happen. Well done, Cadet. Keep training hard and may the crystal guide you. You trained with a level 22 Mizuha, whoever that is, and earned 386 experience. And I got a level. And I got more experience. Okay. So, let's take a look at the party right now. Oh, she's good now. She's alright. She was one of my lowest level people, because frankly, she was a little harder to get the hang of, like, at the start. But now she's right up with everyone. As you can see, Ace and Deuce are the 2 highest level people, and that's because when you're on the world map and not in a mission, you know, you pick your active person, which for this I'll go with Queen. You pick your active person and you run around the world map, and any random battles that come up, it just goes down the list for how to fill out the party. So, Ace and Deuce have been in, like, all the random battles. Now, right now I'm in the arena, because you really need to visit here so you can keep people's levels up. Like, the last actual story mission I did, everyone in the team got killed, except for King, who just really quick just finished off the boss of that mission. But holy hell. So that's what happens when people aren't leveled evenly, which I'm sure there's just a way of changing the way the world map fills out the party. I just don't know what it is. And to be totally honest here, the game is not very good with telling you things. You know, just gotta be totally honest. The game doesn't always tell you what you need to know. You know, some of these people needed a lot more tutorial. For example, like, to be totally honest, the big defensive thing that you gotta do is just constant dodging. Like, your whole team can be pretty fragile at times. Also, you guys saw... You guys saw, like, when I was playing Tuesday night, I actually took the assistance for Macadamia. It turns out that's actually a terrible idea. Because you take the assistance, and that's your team members who aren't in that fight. You know, 8, who I'm not playing as right now, you have no idea that all of his stuff just naturally combos off itself. And of course, when you have earlier access to this, you have no idea what the hell this is. And you have no idea that it actually heals you in addition to doing damage. You know, might have been nice if the game actually told you about that part. I'd have to say that the one time I'm really not happy at the amount the game didn't tell me about was with Sync, who, you know, first I just hated her, because it was just like, wow, you're just doing no damage. And then I realized her attacks get stronger the more you just run around, and she's actually fast enough that whereas Queen needs to actually dodge, she's actually so fast she can just outrun the bullets. That did what I needed it to. So, yeah, let me just demonstrate with Sync what I'm talking about here. No, wait, that's the wrong person, not Sync. Cutter. I'm gonna be honest, there are so many characters to pick from, and they don't all really distinguish themselves all that well. You know, I'm gonna be honest and say that at this point, I really don't think any of these characters are all that good. Like, Ace has potential, but you know, with all these people, he gets really fairly little screen time. Because everyone gets very little screen time. Deuce, I could not even tell you what her personality is. Trey, again, I have no idea what this guy's actually like. Because I'm trying to think of any scene where he's actually talked. And I can't really think of one. But I might just not notice. And I'm gonna be honest, I absolutely hate the voice acting here. These two people, I hate every time they talk. It's the sort of anime girl who's just overly whiny, as opposed to actually having character. Cease. I tried playing as her before, but again, she really needed her own tutorial, because she has her whole mechanic of absorbing the grudge of other people, and, you know, it doesn't actually come up naturally. So, I don't actually know what that means. she has actually so far had the most, you know, character exposition, and it's been practically nothing, which kind of says something about everyone else. I'm counting Machina and Rem separate because something's gonna be weird with them. You know, both of them have one stat out of HP and MP that is just so overboard. Like, Rem has more HP than, like, the next three people combined, if we were to rank them. Machina has a lot of HP. Machina plays pretty intuitively. Rem is ridiculously fast when she's attacking. She's actually hard to hit while she's attacking, so you basically just never stop attacking. But anyway, we have Seven, who was the one I was just doing the secret training with. And she hasn't had any real development or introduction or anything. 8, who, again, he needed a tutorial. When I tried playing as him before, he just died immediately. Then I realized that Swiftwind stance command, it changes depending on what buttons you press with it. So that's actually really useful. And his normal attack, you can use the left stick to move while you're doing it. And, that dodges around the person. All of a sudden, he gets so much better, and all it really took was actually knowing what he actually does. 9, he's pretty intuitive. He's just kind of an asshole, His characterization seems to be just being a dick to everyone. This is the guy that tried to start a fight with the teacher just because. And he's basically, in every scene, he's some kind of an asshole. Jack, I hate this guy. I hate playing as him so much. I will demonstrate Jack later. But god damn. Queen, who I was just playing as, she's just kind of there. She hasn't spoken since the opening hour of cutscenes. King, if he actually said an entire word at a time, I'm pretty sure we would realize he is played by the same voice actor who's voicing Sid. And, that's not a problem or anything, but I kind of think the bigger problem is, he hasn't said anything. Machina and Rem, they kind of don't fit with the theme of all the other characters, and they also get a lot more characterization. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not that happy about that. I'm not happy about that because what that may end up meaning is that out of all these 14 characters, it's really just gonna come down to these two who actually matter. And, I like the ambition of having all these characters, but if you can't actually develop them, then what's the point? So, yeah. as much as I hate this girl's voice actress, like, as much as I hate the acting choices, seriously, look at how freaking fast she is. Hey, guess what? Then I just run around. Like, she moves so fast. She moves so fast that she can just dodge. She can just outrun all the gunfire. Her shots pass through enemies. But yeah, you're noticing, as I'm running, the square button command keeps changing. I just ran right into... I ran right into the enemies, and that's the only reason I actually got hit. So, basically, what I found with Kater is that if she gets mobbed, then eventually that's gonna get to her. But it takes her being mobbed by a bunch of things that can actually survive a number of these hits. There's not a lot of that. So, as for the story, I'm gonna be honest and say that a lot of it kind of doesn't stand on its own. You know, this game offers no explanation as to what a l'Cie is. But if you played Final Fantasy XIII, you already know. You know, there's the crystals, which, you know, again, not a lot of explanation. But that's kind of okay with the Final Fantasy game because they all have crystals. And there's also the fact that usually any early explanation you get about the crystals is usually wrong. So, now, as for the whole, like, military political drama that's going on, it's one of those cases where what you really know about what's going on is that they're hiding a lot of what's going on from you. Okay, that... Gonna take the MP back there. But it's basically... It's still at the part of the plot where chances are the game's just lying to you. So, the larger story, it is really actually kind of, you know, it's happening, and that's good, but, you know, I haven't quite gotten to what it's really working up to, so. Yeah, the next person I said I was gonna demonstrate is Jack. God, I'm gonna be honest. Playing as this guy is so terrible, I don't even want to do it just to demonstrate. Alright, here goes. Here we are. Okay. This is his walking speed. He has a counterattack that happens sometimes. Yep. Hey, dude. Yeah, I was just kind of talking about, like, what I was thinking of this game. I absolutely hate this character. Holy shit. God damn. God damn. Yep. That's basically how it usually goes when you play as that guy. So, I mean, I'd say this game's probably worth checking out. Yeah, dude, that guy just, he moves so slow. And it's like, you gotta actually be able to move. Like, this guy, who I'm pretty sure they ripped off a different Final Fantasy character to play as him. Like, that's okay, dude, I was late too. But yeah, compare that guy to this one. Who, you know, this guy, he's got this high crit rate. Yeah. And then I just heal real quick. Alright. And bam. Seriously, this guy is like one of my favorites in terms of gameplay. Alright. Like, just look at how hard it actually is for people to actually hit me as this guy, and then compare that to the last guy. Alright, take it easy, dude. But alright. So that's some of the characters here. And you know, this arena is great for actually keeping the levels up. the music in this game, which, typically Final Fantasy game, the music typically in some way stands out, and I gotta say, it kind of doesn't in this. It doesn't really stand out that much. It's just, kind of background noise. Who do I want to... Now, the biggest reason it's a good thing I'm not, doing the full recording and just going through the entire game is because I would be spending a lot of time just in menus. There's a lot of room for, different builds, and... No, actually... I'll do 7 this time. First off, immediately when I looked at this character, I'm just like, yeah, this is a rip-off Lightning. They really don't want us to forget Final Fantasy XIII was a thing. And I just kind of want to forget that. So... that wasn't even the right button. Well, that was quick. But, the big advantage to her is she's got some pretty nice range. So, she's like a good mid-range, which, pretty rare. The only thing is, you kind of want to keep it at the further end of that mid-range, because can't take that many hits. So... overall, what would I say about this game? It's worth checking out. There's plenty of room to, just kind of have fun with it. The challenge of this game, honestly, it's the Dark Souls sort of challenge, where it's challenging in a way that really just feels rewarding when you actually get through it. If you just flat out cannot kill something, you can tell you can't get it. And you can usually tell fairly quickly, and then it's just a matter of... because, there was one section where I was blocked in to an area, and I had to, survive. That situation, it was kind of rough. Because there was this giant Colossus thing, think Shadow of the Colossus. There was this giant Colossus thing that just kept killing my people. And I think I lost, half the team. And then later on, another one showed up. So, it's... honestly, I think this is a very good sort of difficulty. It's the kind where it rewards you when you succeed and doesn't really feel cheap at any point. So, overall, this is a pretty good game so far. Like I said, a lot about the plot hasn't really come up yet. I know I'm kind of seeing the framework that they're going to build up from, and I do think it's really interesting. Apparently, one of the big things that happens with a lot of these cadets, especially the people in your team, is you just get regular memory wipes. The problem is that guy at the beginning who they put a lot of time into killing off is Machina's brother. And he was Ace's best friend. Ace could kind of remember it because it was a very recent thing, so he hadn't gone through a memory wipe yet. But then, shortly after that, he gets his memory wiped. But all that just kind of keeps coming back. And I think that's gonna be a good thing they can really build from. I I do kind of want to see where it goes. And I think that's kind of the best thing to say about a first impression. I want to see where this is going. So, if you were kind of debating picking this up, this is a pretty good game, you know. Honestly, I would actually recommend this also to, people who play Dark Souls. This has that kind of difficulty to it. It's that kind of rewarding sort of difficulty.